Well, this is Doug Small. We're back again for the thought for the day, and we're almost always talking about prayer because I don't think we understand it. Abraham Lincoln, one of the most beloved, if not the most beloved president of our nation, said, "I've been driven many times to my knees by the overwhelming conviction that I had nowhere else to go. My own wisdom and that of everyone about me seemed insufficient for the day." You know, the Sunday after he was assassinated, he had planned to join the church. He didn't join the church because he didn't believe. He didn't join the church because he didn't think he was worthy enough. Lincoln's pastor led a midweek prayer service, and he would leave his outer door open, and Lincoln would slip into the pastor's office dark, and the pastor would leave the door to the sanctuary cracked, and Lincoln, the president, would sit in the dark and listen to the people praying. He didn't want to disturb the prayer meeting. He thought his presence there would be a distraction. He would slip in, listen to the prayer meeting. The pastor would know he'd been there, and then he would be gone. In the middle of the night, the pastor said, the carriage would show up and a knock would come at his door, and the president would be summoning him to come to the White House because there was some decision that had to be made, and they would kneel together and they would pray together. "I have been driven many times to my knees by the overwhelming conviction," Lincoln said, "that I have nowhere else to go. My own wisdom and the wisdom I was getting from all my advisors seemed insufficient for the day." Have you ever been there? Corrie ten Boom, she called herself a tramp for the Lord. She survived the German Nazi concentration camp. She said, you can't make prayer your spare tire. You can't put it on when you have a flat tire, when you're in trouble. You have to make it your steering wheel. You have to let prayer guide your life, or God guide your life through prayer. You may as soon, Matthew Henry said, you may as soon find a living man that does not breathe as a Christian that does not pray. The only way you can live a Christian life is with the life of God Himself. You can't do that. Christianity is not trimming the rough edges of your life and conforming to some religious norm. No, it's the life of God in you. And you can't live this kind of life by yourself. The goal is not to be like Christ. The goal is to let Christ be Himself in you and through you, touching through your touching, loving through your loving, caring through your caring, speaking through your speaking, until He, the invisible God, is made visible in you, reflecting Christ by the power and enabling of the Holy Spirit. And that rises out of prayer. There is no spiritual life apart from prayer. When God breathed on man, he became a living soul. You need the breath of God. The Bible said that Jesus breathed on them, and then He sent them to the Holy Spirit. And the breath of God turned into the wind of God, and it blew in the place. And they were animated and full of the life of God. The Hebrews say, the rabbis say, when it said that God breathed into man and he became a living soul, they say God kissed him. Have you experienced the kiss of God? You know, when you're young, I tell people I'm 107. When you're young, you're full of this extraordinary life. Nothing animates life like being in love. What you need is a love relationship with God. You don't need the duty of prayer, of dead prayer. You need a love relationship with Him. where he kisses you, where he breathes on you, where he's close enough that you can begin to feel and experience his face, and you begin to experience change and transformation. Have you been so overwhelmed that you've been driven to your knees? Boy, that's a good thing. Because in that place, Barak, knee, it's really the idea of blessing. In that place of humility, that's where God cracks open like an egg his blessing on your life. Hey, this is Doug Small, and this is the prayer thought of the day. I'll be back tomorrow with one more, Monday through Friday. Watch for these on YouTube, Project Pray channel, or on social media.